Hey guys, welcome back to World of Warships. Today we're taking a look at the buffed Sherman. Yes, Sherman got a buff this update. I've been a little too caught up with playing these mid-tier cruisers and their heals. I've spent so much time playing mostly high tier that it's been a nice breath of fresh air to play the mid tiers. However, Sherman getting a buff is certainly something we should make a video on. We have an engine boost now. This is a massive deal for this destroyer. One of the slowest DDs at tier 10. In fact, the second slowest DD after only Trump. And pretty much all of the destroyers that are around this speed all had engine boost. That made Sherman feel quite sluggish. It's always been very powerful cap contester. Smoke hydro combo is crazy. The DPM is outrageous. The sap allows us to do a ton of full pen damage at almost any angle. That DPM, by the way, 324,000 with sap before any buffs. The HE gets double the fire chance of gearing with the same DPM. Way better arcs. We already know. Sherman, ridiculous gunboat. The problem was your speed. Not only for dodging incoming fire when you're not in your smoke screen. Long duration smokes, very good for farming, of course, but you're not using them all game. Sometimes you do need to go spot. Sometimes the enemies are just shooting at you. And you're so slow. Rather large destroyer too, pretty easy to hit. Though at least Sherman has quite a lot of HP for a destroyer. Nearly 30k is a ton to play around with and allows us to make a few mistakes and not just be sent straight back to port all the time. This new engine boost is going to be very helpful though. 8% lasts for 2 minutes, 2-minute cooldown here. It's not anything fancy, but it is really, really nice to have. Hull, for example, has like a 15% engine boost. It's not a 20% or even 30% like we see on some destroyers, but lasting 120 seconds is quite nice and just makes Sherman a little bit easier to play, to be honest with you. The comparison I often make whenever I am playing Sherman is Marceau, and whenever I'm playing Marceau, I often compare it to Sherman. These two counterparts are the tier 10 coal gunboat destroyers. They're obvious comparison points of which one would you prefer to get. Sherman has the firing arcs. They both have insane DPM, but Sherman has the shell velocity to allow you to easily or more easily aim at enemy ships and not just miss all of your shells. Marceau has very, very slow shells, so I find it very difficult to lead. However, Marceau is just so fast that you don't have to think as much about your positioning, or rather, when you need to reposition across the map. That's the big deal with Marceau, is you're able to change flanks very quickly. You're able to react and not have to think ahead of how the enemy team is going to play and where they're going to flow towards. You can just react to what they're doing in the moment because the ship is so fast. Sherman is the opposite of that, where you have to constantly be thinking about what the enemy team is going to be doing going forward. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck outside of the battle. And Sherman has so much potential impact that you really always need to be thinking about how your positioning is going to be 5 minutes in the future, let's say. Engine boost helps a lot with that, getting us across the map quite a bit quicker. We don't get quite to 40 knots, but it's pretty close and makes for a much more comfortable experience. It allows us to maybe push and catch some destroyers a little bit easier. We don't actually have it up here right now, but having a hydro, pushing DDs, it's very risky because, like we see here, the rune instantly starts going after us. Everybody wants to take out the Sherman because we know how dangerous this ship is. Being able to dodge a little bit easier, being able a little harder to hit, is a big deal for a ship like this one. Because Sherman, in my opinion, was already a very, very strong destroyer at tier 10. So for it to get any sort of buff is a big deal, even if it seems rather small in that it's only an 8% engine boost. I think this is a big deal, and it makes Sherman more comfortable to play if you found that lack of speed to be annoying, the inability to reposition. But it'll also make this ship a lot more frustrating to fight against. Here's an example where I am just missing all of my shells. Apologies for the aim. But maybe we'll focus on dodging the incoming rune salvos at 13.5 kilometers. This is a bit of an issue, I think. Sherman, the ability to open water gunboat was always extremely risky because of that lack of maneuverability. we now have enough that in a 1v1, I am pretty comfortable against a cruiser at these ranges to dodge these shells. I can slow down, I can turn in. There's plenty that I can do to avoid these shells. And if I am getting that rune to think about, oh, he's going to slow down and turn in, that sort of thing, the engine boost gets us fast enough that we can actually just outspeed a lot of the shells if he leads for us to turn in, that sort of thing. This is something that made Hull particularly frustrating to deal with. That has a 15% engine boost. That's the basically Sherman with Des Moines guns with a super heal. No smokes on that one though, and also no hydro. But the open water gunboat there was very frustrating to deal with. Felt like you could never hit it properly, and even if you did, it was going to super heal through the vast majority of that incoming damage. Sherman does not have that super heal, notably. But this gets you a little bit of that feeling where Sherman, if it starts opening up at you at these 14 to 15 kilometer ranges, it's got its engine boost up, it's going to be hard to hit, and it's just going to melt you rather quickly. Fire chance is excellent, so we're going to get a lot of fires early on battleships. As soon as we get a couple fires and they haven't damage controlled, then we can swap over to the sap, is generally how I am viewing this ship. And then if they damage control, well, you get a lot of perma-fires then with this ship. We don't want to just purely open water gunboat, of course. Moving between islands, sensibly using cover, having teammates to spot for us is a big deal there. Our Shima is helping us out a ton in this game, okay? We have to mention that. Sherman is a much better destroyer when it's a second line DD, one that is not leading the charge into a cap, needing to spot for itself, one that has that Shimakaze or a Holland or a Gearing or a Daring even. Anything with better detect, the ability to spot easier, contest caps easier without getting spotted as quickly. Sherman gets outspotted by a lot of these middling hybrid DD roles like Daring, that sort of thing. 6.5 kilometers is our best detect on Sherman, and I am running a bit of a lighthouse build here, full DPM build on it. We won't run that the whole video, don't you worry, but I had to give it a go, as that's really what this buff allows us to do more of, is open water gunboating, more focus on damage output, because we now have an extra tool to help us defensively, which we would not have normally. That said, I am going to make a bit of a mistake here. We're going to push in and hopefully deal with the enemy destroyer in B cap. I do think it's the Holland, as the Gearing and Shima were last spotted, dealing with our Gearing on the other side. So I kind of have a 1v1 here, and Holland, well, he has a heal. We get a Halsey Confed proc for 20% better DPM mid-fight. That's tough. And we go dark. Okay, this is really, really important that we go dark here. I am assuming that the enemy destroyers are far enough away that I can go in and maybe take an engagement around this corner with the Yoshino. And then I get spotted. Oh no. So, big mistake here, and this is where even with an engine boost up, yeah, this ship is not purely invincible, okay? And that's why I think it's maybe not going to be so overpowered. It's still definitely a very, very massive buff to this ship, but it still is going to eat quite a bit of damage at these closer ranges if you try and charge caps, which I often see people do, trying to force the smoke hydro gimmick and often die. That is not going to work out so well, even with this engine boost upgrade. Sometimes that engine boost can just get you in trouble a lot sooner. Now here, I'm worried about the Yoshino going to blind fire my smoke because I'm so low, so I try to angle that. And then, yeah, the obvious torps from Shima come through. I should not have played this so aggressively. So we do end up going down, and we do end up losing this one. But incredibly fun, and I gotta say, having an engine boost feels pretty good on a Sherman these days. It was really the main thing this ship was missing, outside of just healing, making it flat out overpowered. This makes it a little more comfortable to maneuver around the map, as well as get yourself out of bad situations where you're spotted open water. Helps you dodge a little bit more there. And yes, this ship does have torps, by the way. Didn't hit very many of those, but every once in a while you do. So while it's very good we have an engine boost now, that can sometimes just get you into more trouble, right? Speed you up into getting too aggressive and dying. I think this is a great example of, if I was to push into this cap, very common angle, I mean, you're just caught behind this island. This island behind you means you're stuck and often going to die there. So we'll go around it. The other thing is we have an AFK Holland on this flank. I was very hopeful that he wasn't AFK because, well, it's really nice to show off Sherman as that second line DD. It's a lot easier to play then when you're not the one having to spot. However, I did swap over to the conceal build. So you notice we have 6.5 kilometer detect, so we can kind of try it. It's hard to open water gunboat into secondary battleships, to be honest with you. So we're not really going to be on the lookout for that here. Funnily enough, we do have 2 gearing torps per side. May as well make use of them. They're in the cap now. So going wide like this, the goal is to, well, one, make sure we're not getting cross-mapped, right? So there's nothing out here because that's the map border. So we can turn away rather easily. The other thing is we need to spot for our team. We're the destroyer. Yes, I know you want to play your Sherman. You want to have those crazy gunboat games where you're just smashing everything and smoked up and you're having a great old time. You can't do that every battle, and this is one where that's not going to work. However, now that our Libertad and Bremen are around the corner, a little tempted to get some gunboating going on here. I'm still not going to go for it, though, quite yet, as I just want to keep the spots, like this Inchin, for example. Okay, now that we are lit, that is a very, very different story. Now we definitely need to be smoking up. As, oh, he was ready. Too bad. So we're gonna eat some damage here. Actually, not too bad. Could have been a lot more. And I hydroed instantly. Did you notice that? So this is very standard, normal Sherman playstyle. Okay? This is nothing new. Smoke up, hydro, all that stuff. It's the in-between times. Hey, nice. We see the torps and where they came from. Our hydro helping our team there as well, not just us. So like you see, we do get outspotted, unfortunately. That is a definite issue, but balanced, okay? Like, the ship would be just overpowered if it had the same detect as, like, a Daring or a Gearing, for example. Torps coming through. These are probably the Schlieffen torpedoes at this point. Maybe some more DDs, though. This is so many torpedoes, guys. Oh, my goodness. I will have to look at the battle results to see how many torps we spotted this game. Hydro's nice. Hydro's nice. So, secondary battleship dealt with. Maybe it's time to turn around and push these guys. There's a smoke in front of us. Notice Inchin, right? We don't want to get over-aggressive without our smoke available to us, and then Inchin kills us in like 4 or 5 salvos or something like that. We're spotting the Inchin. Okay, so my plan is actually to go back to this island here, and maybe we can catch a destroyer while keeping this island between us and the Inchin, right? I'm trying to look for ways to isolate fights. It's a little like brawling battleships in a weird way. I know I was spotting that, so I should really help my team by actually spotting that. Our hydro is down, okay? This is potentially an issue. So, in between. Oh, nice. Are your torps up, I wonder? Oh, I want to get him, but he's going to get away. These torps are up. Interesting. Okay, well, we have to go bow in here. But the island should be between ourselves and the Inchin. So, little scary, but we do survive it. Get a little chip damage. La Pampa got over-aggressive. And yeah, see, there's the Inchin shot. See, you got to be paying attention to this stuff. And our Holland is back in. Let's go. That's big. With our Yoshino pushing like that, I kind of want to help him by also pushing this flank. The Inchin is going to want to deal with either the Yoshino or myself. 19 seconds and we'll have our Hydro. Do have a Bremen with us as well. The problem is the Shima is now in a kited position. Inchin actually leaving. What do you know? That's interesting. So I'm willing to push a Shima a little bit here because my Hydro is about to come up off cooldown. Otherwise, I would be a little bit too worried to do that. Yeah, because you just instantly shoot at me. It's all right. Avoid that one. And now engine boost, allowing us to accelerate. Yeah. Look at that. Look at the engine boost. It's actually crazy. And our Hydro, we'll get this guy lit in a second. Now we'll turn this way to avoid. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, guys. It's insane. Oh, he's bow on, so we should gotta go Ichi. Inchin behind the island. Pretty funny that we're actually bouncing shells. Can I go dark? I can go dark! Oh, amazing. So, very challenging to play this ship as the frontline DD, but possible. Actually, I'm very happy with this game. We don't have a lot of damage, but I'm very, very happy with how this is working right now. Very cool. I probably need to help on this, so let's actually use one of our smokes here. It'd be very good to help our Yoshi in this situation. Our damage actually is pretty big into cruisers because of the sap. He's forced to angle to us or to the Yoshino 8 who's using AP, actually. I wonder if the Yoshino is close enough that... oh, no, he goes down. Too bad. Pretty low, I would assume. Ah, I missed. That's okay. All right. Gearing over pushing into B. Our team should have that. So now I hope our Bremen doesn't just full push this flank. It would be good to actually kind of regroup, maybe in here, that kind of thing. I don't want to push spawns, right? And in fact, I am going to start farming this Ohio. Few reasons. One, he's stationary, so he's easy to hit. Two is I want Inchin to potentially open up, and then Bremen can start shooting him. Oh, I'm not paying attention to Ohio. And I don't have my engine boost up, so I get hit? Yep. Nice. Ah, so he's still in his smoke. Good to know. Good to know. Oh, and Schlieffen spots us. Okay, this might have been a bad idea. Nice. Okay, Inchin gets spotted. Yeah, this is where I would love to have my engine boost up. And here it is. It'll help us get out of the Schlieffen secondary range here a little quicker. The fire's already there, so, you know, we swap over to the sap, of course. Nice, we get to go dark. So does the Schlieffen, though. So, it helps. You're still not invincible, but it helps. You know? That's what it comes down to. Now, I do think it would be good for me to actually go run at this Inchin who has turned back in. The reason being, he was kited away before. Very challenging to pin down an Inchin who is just wanting to kite away. He has Schlieffen back up. I am not actually going to go gunboat him. I want to spot him for my Bremen. Schlieffen as well. We'll also pop the torps through this gap. And Inchin has deep waters, so we're not too worried about that. Schlieffen would not have had the angle, I don't think. Nice, there he is. And actually, if he's like this, create a problem where my Bremen is broadside onto him, but the DD is also a pretty juicy target for him to want to go after. Yep. Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. All right, Mr. Bremen, I need your help. Bremen? Sir? I know I'm missing a lot. I'm very focused in on trying to avoid as much of this incoming damage as I can.
Ship is on fire.
Come on, die! Nice. Okay, we're low, but we did finish off this flank. So now we can go back and help. I do think the enemy team is a little bit too powerful on that side. We'll see. But as a DD, sometimes spotting like that, contesting caps, going after the DDs. Yeah, we want the big damage Sherman games over 200k. It's fun. It's really fun, okay? But you do have to play this role from time to time. And I think this was a solid example of that one. So, GG's. Moving on, and we have a destroyer on our flank. Let's go. We can play the second line a little bit. Z52 still doesn't have the best detect, but he has a longer range Hydra. We also Svea Thor on this flank. This is not going to be a very pretty flank for any enemy destroyers caught in any of these radars or hydros. This is absolutely ridiculous. So, plan second line, as well as wide line too. We see Zed going this way, so let's try to open up a different angle, as well as maybe do the spotting open water thing for Svea and Thor. Oh, 12-kilometer radar on the Moskva. That's a challenge.
Engine boost
I'm
active.
going to engine boost so that when we are shooting at this guy, the Moskva is going to shoot at us. So I want to make it as challenging as possible for him to actually hit us. Right? No, he doesn't shoot at us. They're on the Z52 instead. Sure. That's fine. I don't mind. Now he's on us. Sure. Engine boost. Nice. The insta-fire is pretty funny. And even Moskva shells. I mean, it's really long range, but even Moskva shells, we can avoid a little bit there. So, here's the thing. We have successfully done a little tiny bit of damage. The Shima has been pushed back. We're way out of position, though. If we want to try and, like, open water gunboat this is not very helpful for our team. So, we're going to turn back in, and we want to go help our Svea. Winning this side here, helping against, like, a DD in here, a DD in here, big, big deal. Especially if I can use the island to cut myself off, or cut the Moskva angle off from ourselves. Notice the Hydro is down. Oh my, Shima. I was expecting him to angle. That's why I'm kind of on the HE here, by the way, if you're wondering. Ah, my aim. We're landing all around him. All right, it's fine. I know we're turning broadside onto the Moskva, but he's far enough away. I didn't get... I went too far back. I should have stopped shooting a lot sooner, by the way.
Torpedoes, direct
And
fire.
not
Support.
then kited so far back here to try and just avoid some Moskva shells. That was my mistake in this one, for sure. Perhaps I'm spending too much time on one flank again. You know, maybe we should go back and help. But I do think this is we need to help this Svea out as much as we can. Shima's going to be on the border. Which way? Oh, never mind. Svea's got it. Svea's very challenging for the enemy destroyers to deal with, of course. All right, now I want to go back and help on the cap here. So we could, like, continue to push this, but I don't think there's much point. Destroyer here, who was in the cap, by the way. So it's not like there's anything that's gonna, like, really challenge this Svea. So he has a lot of room here to play how he wants to. All he needs from us is spotting. So us sitting behind the island like this is doing the least possible to help him out. If I can be in the middle here, contesting the DD, and then also spotting for him, he can smoke up and farm. Our Thor is getting very low, though. That's a problem. Moskva notably behind the island. Notice that? So we'll farm a little bit on this Slava. Reasonably confident in my ability to do that. I also hydroed just in case torps meant for the Thor are going to actually come after us here. Okay, the fire has been had, so let's swap over to the sap for more damage. Okay, Moskva's on us now, so we're probably going to smoke up. We want to wait a little bit here for maybe Slava shots.
Smoke generator started.
Although now I'm smoking and the Zed is smoking here, so that's not so good. So we won't have as much spotting then. I want to extend my smoke as well, not just sit in one spot. Let's go here. Monty is far enough away. We're not within these Moskva's radar, notably. I am going to use this time, though, to turn and be bow away or kited away from the Monty and the Moskva, just in case the Moskva turns in with radar. You know, we have smokes to sit in. Of course, they're great, but, you know, we can use them to turn around and reposition when we've been caught to bow in. Fire is out, so let's swap it. I'm actually going to dip out of my smoke here. I don't really want to get spotted. There we go. Back in. I am focused up on this Slava as well, by the way, because that's the biggest threat to my pushed up Zed and Slava here. Or Svea. So that's what I'm wanting to focus on. Oh, I went out of my smoke again. Silly. Lit briefly. No problem. He shot at me, even though he's instantly getting, okay. Oh, nice, and we see Moskva. That's really good. He does hit us. Interesting. I thought for sure he would hold his shot for the Z52 to pop out of this, or whenever that smoke engagement would happen. Interesting. Well, we didn't take too much, though, thankfully. So, we're in our smoke, and here are the obvious torps. This is another reason to angle. Take the time to do it. The Moskva is far enough away. I'm okay with taking some of these. Or rather, taking some of these open water engagements with the Monty. We'll try for fires to start. Too high now? There we go. Just the Shima left down there. I'm pretty okay with that. Can we get a fire, perhaps? That'd be nice. Please. I said it had better fire chance than gearing, but I guess not. We're gonna look for oh, Moskva on us again. We're gonna look for potential shots to help in the north. Hey, finally a fire! Oh my goodness, took years. Let's go sap now. Oh my, hello, sir. He's angled enough. Let's go HE. Not mess with the sap too much. I'm always trying to vary my position and speed up because of the Moskva shooting at us. Okay. Shima goes dark. I assume that the Zed is going to send that with Hydro. Oh, he did not have Hydro, so he's dead. That's too bad. We've put the island between ourselves and the Moskva, so I'm okay to just kind of farm here. This is a close battle. We're doing a little bit more damage in this one. Damage con from Monty. I'm going to try and hit his bow here. Might be a bit greedy, but the damage should be very good because it's not saturated yet. We're spotted from Shima right now. Now it's just superstructure hits. Nice. Moskva has pushed up. Interesting that I'm not going dark here. I would have expected to. I'm caught in front of this island. That's not great. Hopefully the Moskva's not within radar range of me here. Not quite. We're close though. We gotta use our engine boost to get out of here. What is that? Sir, you have a lot to deal with. Oh, you would use your radar there. Okay, it's fine. We have our engine boost up to avoid. And once he's used it, that's it. That is it. We're outside now. We can set up to farm him. Although it might be better actually to help finish off this incomp. Or sorry, Libertad. He's low enough that I just want to use the sap. We don't have a lot of pen on the HE either, so. Oh my, very nice. Shima's very slow. Trying to speed juke without an engine up. Interesting. Can I blind this? By the way, that Mosfa shot into that there, he was waiting to get spotted, and then once he got spotted, he assumed it was me moving out from the island and then taking that shot. That is not like cheating or anything like that. That's just a good player with insane map awareness. This Mosfa's played very well. But the spotting difference sometimes, playing around radars is hard, okay? It really is quite challenging, but you can do it. You can do it. It's a lot about controlling flanks and making sure that radar cruiser doesn't have a comfortable way to sit close to caps and that sort of thing. The further back you push them, the harder they have dealing with you when you get into those closer range DD fights, is the idea here. We had some very good DD players on our team in this one. Again, not insane damage there, but more of a thought process around how to playing around flanks and playing with teammates, that sort of thing. Although that was just one radar we had to deal with. What happens if every single cruiser on the enemy team has a radar? That might be a little bit more challenging then, won't it? We get ourselves two brothers. I'm going to go this way. I find myself more easily able to play on the decap here when there's a ton of radars. Oftentimes radar cruisers can push up into these islands here and into like these positions here. And A becomes a lot harder to play closer to the cap. So I'm going to go towards this flank. It's also a little weaker for our team, so I want to help out. Jaeger, selfishly, okay, very selfishly, Jaeger doesn't have a smoke. So he's probably going to be doing a lot of spotting. So then maybe we can just sit up and smoke ourselves and just farm for a bit. Okay, that might be the real reason I'm going this way. But I came up with another couple to try and confuse you. Oh boy. A lot of radars. Let's play a little bit cautious. Condi here is very powerful, also farming. We won't full send the cap though, that's for sure. We'll just try and provide an angle where if DDs get spotted, we have options to support. Send one of our gearing torps through here and another one here. Maybe it'll hit something. Wouldn't that be funny? Jaeger is on his way in, so I'm gonna preemptively turn away and start reversing. This is another tactic you really should be using in your DDs is don't touch the cap, bow on, especially into radars, please. It's how you die, okay? If not always the best idea, you know, sometimes this wastes a lot of time, but in some situations it's just, you save so much health by reversing in towards the caps. Excellent damage into this Kitakazi to start. Love to see it. Now then, I am close enough that they could have a radar. Yep. Again, reversing in. So, the radar is here somewhere. It's not Seattle. It's somewhere in here. That's why I'm trying to stay angled to this spot. Kitagans I don't really care about. There we go. See? See? It's possible to play around them. It's hard. It is hard, but it is possible. Damage control on Ohio. I'm going to greed a little bit here. We're already pushing back. So if there's a cruiser in here, we should be able to angle to it. Insta-fire? Ain't no way. That's crazy. After the DCP. Unfortunately, it looks like our Jaeger gets caught by the Seattle. Another fire. It's pretty cool. So, Jaeger got caught. That is unfortunate. But what it means is now we need to replace a destroyer on the flank. Yeah, they also lost a DD. Yes. But it's still very useful to have a DD on the flank. So I'm not going to just sit middle selfishly farming as I've been doing to start this battle. We're gonna head back out there, support our Condi, that sort of thing. And get some fires maybe on the Pommern, perhaps? I saw Ohio shoot at us. Nice, get one. Fire chance looking better this game. Des Moines playing middle. That's likely who radared us earlier. That fire probably gets him. Actually, I think it ticked out. Nice. Condi gets it. So this is also why we want to push the flank, is we have a Condi on our side. That ship is powerful. And perhaps we can bait this Seattle into staying lit a little longer. We shall see. SAP allowing us to actually full pen cruisers is so nice, guys. It's so nice. As a DD, oftentimes trying to hit cruiser superstructures, because that's all your HE can really do, is difficult to, even if you have good arcs. Notice I'm also trying to stay outside of 12 kilometers, because that's the maximum range of Palmer and secondaries here. Oh, come on, where's my aim? There we go, Condi's probably got it. Nice. Now we can focus up again on Pommern. Back to the HE for fires. Okay, we had a good team in this one. I maybe have overcomplicated this or something, but you can take the early side of things. Early positions, you know. Destroyers getting killed early is often the cause of a lot of blows. So playing a little safer early on is a big, big deal. Nice, we'll take the double fire there. Pommern guns are not particularly great, so I'm okay with open water gunboating. Now we'll get the cap and use our engine boost to get back into the fight a little bit sooner. Look at us, approaching 40 knots. Kind of. We're still not the fastest DD, but this is the other use, of course, for this engine boost. Helps a lot. It does legitimately help a lot. We are crossing in front of a friendly battleship, and there's a gearing around. So likely torps. So let's actually use our hydro. Hey, look.
Direct front.
What do you know?
Torpedoes dead ahead.
Torps intended for the GK that could have surprised us. Nice. Jacksonville is a pretty scary ship. We can apply some pressure from range, though. 9-kilometer radar, so we don't actually have to worry about it. If he turns away, especially. Yeah, he's going to be on us, so we'll smoke. Oh. That's GK. GK, well known to have some of the best guns in the game. A combat scout? Wait, have I really got that much spotting damage? 146,000 spotting. I was not even paying attention to that. That's a rare one, okay? That's a rare one in Sherman. Look at me, guys. I'm just a team player. I would never think to just set up and smoke farm because there's a Jaeger on my flank. No. Look at the awards. Look at the awards we get. I'm a team player. That's insane. Oh, Geary got briefly caught in Tulsa radar. Oh, my aim is so bad, though. Wow. I think that's another takeaway from this video, is if you actually can aim properly, this ship would be a lot better. Oh, my goodness. I won't say it all the time, but dispersion is also a little weird with this ship. These 3-gun destroyers. I feel it with Hull a lot, too. It's got some weird dispersion at times. I'm also using SAP when they're very angled, so maybe I should have swapped to the HE. Because then the hits I do get are just bounces, maybe? Regardless, a good result. A blowout, but we contributed, right? Yes, Combat Scout. That's crazy. Sherman Combat Scout's got to be quite rare. But the open water gunboating, more playable with the engine boost upgrade. I'll take it. As a Sherman enjoyer, I will take this. I will gladly take this buff, okay? This ship is awesome. Did it need it? I personally don't think so. Here's the build for a little bit more normal play. What I was doing was I was swapping Superintendent over to Main Veteran AA Specialist and Conceal over to Fearless Brawler for the full DPM build, if you want to go that way. Harder to play, but quite fun. This is pretty standard, though. Highly recommend Engine Boost mod now, though. That is very powerful. 156 seconds. That's very nice. just a little boost to your maneuverability helps out a ton for this ship. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. About time I took a look at this buff. We're getting close to the next update, and I hadn't even covered the Sherman buff. Glad to see that this ship is still a ton of fun to play. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.